Tragtime.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tragtime. Are you ready for Tragtime? Thank you, and thank you very kindly.
Hello.
Tragtime 6. Okay, we're gonna shut up and just hear this tune out because it's St. Patrick's Day.
Sometimes when he'd be lonely, then he'd often say to me, turn down the wireless and I'll tell you how things used to be. We had no television then, CD or stereo. And if you required some music, well, you had to make your own like this.
Oh, the dance is great.
Okay, what are... We're watching a very old man in an Irish bog cottage dancing.
This is the world famous Foster and Allen.
He's
off.
Walking down a country.
No, he's not.
He's off the road.
He just
Use roads.
went into the ditch and went off camera.
There he
There's
is.
no need
Check
for
him out.
Oh my
roads.
god, he's on top of
He's hillbound.
an old hill.
It's back to the land of the fairies.
That's amazing.
Like, isn't it?
And that song
You'll
goes on
notice-
forever. It goes on forever.
In opposition to the rural theme of the tune, his jumper has a weird cityscape with skyscrapers and stuff.
Keep
Bit
it
of
modern.
contrast.
Bit of ironical postism.
Okay, I know nothing about this video. Like, who is this guy?
Well, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, happy
St.
Patrick's
Patrick's
Day.
Day to
Yeah.
all listeners. Dave and
Tragtime 6.
Hello.
Johnny Dillon has joined us. He's
How do you do?
our Irish folklore expert today. And the two of them have brought this hilarious video, My Uncle Mike by Foster and Allen. Where's Alan?
He's the video camera guy.
I think
Yeah,
he was
behind the
in
camera,
one of
driving the cart.
One of the haystacks.
He's the brains. The other guy's the talent.
Tell me more, though. What is this?
Well, for those that don't know, if you're in a different country, if you're not from Ireland, the
Weird
weird noises that he was making is traditional Irish language, also known as Gaelic.
That is absolute bollocks.
That is not Gaelic.
Isn't it?
No.
Okay.
5 minutes in.
Okay.
Now, I believe, Johnny, you've told me before that singing was done because people couldn't afford Irish instruments.
Yeah.
So they would lilt like that so that people could. They'd be in old Irish dance cottages and they couldn't afford instruments, so people go diddly-eye,
Dance
diddly-eye,
cottages.
diddly-eye.
No way.
Yeah.
And that would provide music for him to dance like that, like he was just there.
In what, when did that happen?
In 1984 to 1998. I don't know. When hundreds, millions of years
Around
ago?
the time when Christopher Bird was big.
I don't know when instruments.
Because what kind of shit session was that where people had to do that?
Just people playing, singing jigs and reels and shit like that.
They didn't have the instruments.
No, too poor. So it'd be
Jeez.
like,
But that's where that came from. That's
Yeah.
Irish
Just a
stuff.
lot of lads
Yeah,
kick,
Scotland as
banging
well.
their feet off the ground and clapping.
pretty
and
much.
making noises.
yeah.
Hooping and a hollering.
That looked like Sean Now's dancing, was it?
Yeah, probably a variation on the theme or something like that. Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Shuffling about
Shuffle, yeah.
in a pretend house in a terrible jumper,
The original footwork.
lying in the hay. Yeah.
Who?
I think it's-
Drive-by folk dancing incident
Yeah.
on the cart.
I think it is actually Foster footwork. I think that's what it's.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And where is he from?
No idea. I can tell you nothing about these two dudes except that they rocked dance halls up and down the country for I don't know how many years.
Like they do have serious music as well, don't they?
I've no idea. I've never seen anything else.
Okay,
except
I'll
that.
be honest. I've tried to
blur.
look for other tunes
So
like
they
that.
would
And they don't
go-
have them. They that's the kind of their funniest tune.
Oh really?
Yeah, the rest of their stuff I think is serious.
Tear-jerking kind of ballads.
I think so. Yeah.
So they would go up and down in Ireland singing that song.
Yeah, well,
All over
and
the world, I
others.
think.
Yeah, I think they were super famous kind
Yeah.
of dance hall balladeers or something.
Right.
If you were on a ferry going to Holyhead in the 80s, they were.
They were on it with you,
yeah.
getting out of here. Yeah.
Hey, they just get out to Holyhead.
Can we go
You love those ferries.
Can we go? I'm going to get out of Ireland for a minute. So
Yeah.
that clip this week of the dubstep pissing off the internet.
Okay,
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened?
Did anyone see this?
Nope, haven't
great.
heard of it.
Oh my god, it's the worst. What was it on Thump? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your man wrote an
Was
article.
dubstep not always kind of ruined?
Well, no, there was some
well.
great stuff really early on.
Was there?
Yeah, like real
But
back.
this I think is called bro step. And
Okay.
it's like when macho Americans get on the
Yeah,
dance floor.
okay.
It stopped having dub elements really and started having chainsaws in it, and then it wasn't
Skrillex
dubstep anymore.
sort of movement. Okay, here we go.
This is probably going to be
Dubstep
copyright.
is an art form that is spawned from robots having sex. Dubstep is like in your face.
A mix of every genre before it. I feel like you can really do anything with it. It's kind of like what drum and bass is, but it's a little bit faster.
I would say that dubstep is defined by
do the noises now.
140 BPM, heavy bass, heavy percussion.
Most humans can't speak dubstep, so it has to be interpreted through the computer.
I think it sounds like higher dimensional extraterrestrials sounds that their ships make.
Or they would be like, dun, 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 dun. It could be, because there's like lasers and there's like growls.
That
dude needs medical attention. What's that stroke thing?
I love it.
You can make any sound in the dubstep track. I promise. Burping, farts, chihuahuas barking. Like when you throw like mayonnaise on the floor and then you record that.
Yeah, it's all been done before.
And then
isn't
you
it?
reverse it and then you put it before a snare and just
For me, the appeal
always
of
use that reverse
dubstep and bass
mayonnaise.
music is more like experiencing the physical vibrations, like the actual feel of the bass line.
In the late 90s, early 2000s, people like Benga and Tempa Recordings, Horsepower Productions, Code 9, they were making
Okay, hang on.
basically dark instrumental
Are we listening to all of this?
two-step.
Yeah, it gets
and
better.
now we're
There's
still
one-
with
but
dubstep.
is this
It's
the
been around,
video
like,
that
This is
you're
the
talking
video, yeah.
2007,
It's meant to
2008,
be
when
like
Rusko and
them
Casper
talking about
started
actual
doing their
dubstep without
thing. They,
using
were kind of
any
taking
information
more
about
drum and
original
bass
dubstep,
sounds and
innit?
bringing some of those pop sounds back into
They
it.
just mean
and
American
that sort of
dubstep.
led to the whole North American
One-syllable words.
dubstep, bro-step, bass music explosion.
I feel like Skrillex really helped because he was the first one that could make like a song.
They sound
pop.
like
I feel
soundboards.
he just kind of
Yeah.
set the bar for sound design. So as soon as that happened,
It's revisionist electronic music history.
I think as long as Skrillex is cool, dubstep is cool.
It's the rhythm. It's like when all the core elements, the drums, the bass line, the lead, they come together at the same time, something happens magically.
Most of the people that I see at the shows are aware that an alien invasion is imminent.
I just want to get out in the crowd and like
This-
push people and, you know, maybe get punched in the face.
You go to a dubstep
Sweet,
show and
yeah.
it is so
Sure.
full of
That's a night
energy.
out.
Kids are just raging and they're having so much fun, and that's a beautiful thing to me.
Hell no.
Your one's career
Never
isn't
let
going to
my
last too
children
long.
listen to
She's just going to get loads of digs
Are they
in the
DJs?
face.
No, not at all. These
I
are
wouldn't
just
know any of them.
Is that Skrillex?
no. This has been going around all week. It's the
That video's famous.
video of Americans explaining dubstep is pissing off the entire internet. And the guy said when he filmed it, he thought it was a piss take, but realised it was real and just went with it.
Oh.
And it's
Well,
just
I would imagine
mortifying.
when he would have asked them, can you make the sound of dubstep, he was probably joking, but they all kind of went along
Yeah.
with it anyway, being
Yeah.
serious about it.
Brilliant. But it's that whole American EDM, bro.
Well, that's the thing,
You
isn't it?
know.
It's just like they never bothered or gotten that interested in
The roots
EDM
of it.
before, and then like something that came along that was a bit harder
Skrillex.
and I don't know, fucking
It was a
aggressive and they were
second
into it,
grunge
like-
movement.
Yeah.
Like for American teenage kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They had
absolutely.
that rock out buzz.
Like I remember, like
Didn't give a head.
Skrillex, I think famously put up like some his favorite song is an Aphex Twin song, and
yeah, and they all were going, "Where's the drop?"
they all went onto it on YouTube and said, "Yeah, it's all right, but where's the drop?"
Where's the
And I was
drop?
like,
Like, what is
the hell's
this?
wrong? Do you remember the song?
Oh my God.
It
Flim?
was like Avril 14th or something. Oh no, it was Flim maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
Was it,
and they were just like,
one
all
of
the
Aphex
comments are like,
nicer
"Where's the
ones.
drop?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm not sure if this is really dubstep." And just like, "Yeah, you're kind of missing everything, really. You're missing everything that's cool."
Yeah, I remember once being in New York. Actually, no, I didn't go to this gig, but the girls did. It was an EPROM gig because there is good dubstep coming out of
EPROM's
America.
what's EPROM?
Yeah, EPROM.
He's
It's
like-
good
It
It wouldn't be
dubstep.
dubstep. It'd be just heavy.
This isn't
bass.
this isn't an electronic prom.
No. Oh, maybe that's what it means.
EPROMs were all discs for drum machines.
But
Is
anyway,
it a type of music or
it
an
was
artist?
just
or-
gas
He's
because
an artist, yeah.
dubstep
EPROM,
hadn't
yeah.
caught on in America.
Good.
Like even it was here 15 years ago,
Okay.
12 years ago, and I think this was.
Well, what were the
5
names?
years ago.
What were the names of the UK hip hop act that used to do it loads? I love them. I can't remember
Dead
the name
Res?
though.
No.
No, UK. They were like the first guys to bring dubstep
Next.
to the UK.
Steps.
I'll remember it. Let's move on.
Scream?
No, no, no.
That was the first. That was the first.
Really, yeah?
Scream,
Yeah.
Space
Okay.
Ape.
Foreign Beggars.
They're not the first.
They'd be more recent. They kind of went
And that's
dubstep
not-
with noise, yeah.
They've been around for a long time,
But
though.
yeah, it would have been the tail end of it. It would have been when.
It whispered already, yeah. That's right.
2008.
It's strange because I think when an MC comes on,
getting old.
it turns into grime.
They weren't a grime act, but let's not talk about the virtues.
Anyway,
of
that
Foreign Beggars.
that video has been pissing off the internet, and I think it's hilarious. I love when he says, "Most humans can't speak dubstep, so it has to be interpreted."
Yeah.
Did you go to the actual YouTube page like for that video and see the comments on it?
No.
No,
say
it's
they're
a
pretty
Thump
entertaining.
article.
I just
Yeah,
loved
but that
the bit.
embedded video there, see it?
Yeah,
If you click on YouTube on that,
done.
I'm sure the comments are.
Oh, we
pretty
can't get into
fascinating.
reading comment sections.
No, we won't do
might
it.
as well
We
just,
might check it later on
We might
privately.
as well read Donald Trump's comment sections on this video.
First comment, this breaks
good
my
stuff.
heart.
Yeah, there you go. Right there.
Second comment, I do hope this is a joke.
Hold on. Can you go back to that guy? He's called Dark Step Warrior.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
And third comment,
R.I.P.
LOL,
R.I.P.
dude.
Timmy.
Beatport, you're a joke. This girl is the only one who talks my sense here. No.
Cool. Okay.
Anyway,
there's no hope.
yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, there is
That's
no,
really
there is no
depressing.
hope, yeah.
Strange. Yeah.
I remember once watching a Workaholics episode where Workaholics is a piss take. Like, we're going to the EDM concert. And it was just to have aggro fights and get pussy and do gloving. You ever see gloving?
No,
Yeah,
you know the plur
we
thing
were
in the
supposed to
States?
talk about
Yeah.
that, weren't we?
Yeah.
What is it?
Clothing is bizarre. Maybe I'll get it up on YouTube.
It's wearing glowing gloves and doing hand dances.
Yeah.
It sounds American, all right.
Yeah.
It's that
Except
way.
that there was a really lovely
Well,
story.
did
that we
Michael
had
Jackson
about
not
it,
make that popular?
Was it an autistic
the
kid?
story with a guy with cerebral palsy couldn't
that was
really
it,
move his
so, yeah.
hands and he got into gloving.
Yeah, it
And
really
then
helped with cerebral
brought back
palsy.
the movement.
Do you know the whole thing in the candy raver movement in the
Yeah.
States, and they have
Happy
all these like
hardcore.
wristbands and
Yeah.
beads, and they
Yeah.
and they hold hands
ones
and
you
they
can
say
eat.
plur, which is peace, love, unity, and respect, and then they swap a wristband.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
I was there for that.
Oh yeah. Did you get me wristbands?
No, I was in the States.
It's like, what are the clown posse people called?
Oh, yeah. Those
Insane
were
Clown
really-
Posse.
Yeah, but you know
they have-
they're people.
They're degenerate.
Juggalos.
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 Yeah.
They're
That big-
amazing.
that
What
big
the
juggalo
hell is
festival.
that?
They're
Yeah,
incredible,
It looks
yeah.
awful, that
Oh
festival.
my god.
What's the one where they do spelling, or there's some whole thing where they can't spell?
No, what's the one with the rainbows or something?
Well,
like
it's
that?
Magnets.
Magnets.
Oh yeah,
Magnets.
dude, what do magnets
The
even
magic
do?
you got.
Yeah.
No one knows how they work.
Science.
Hang on,
No.
no,
Science
the listeners didn't hear
Basement
that.
dwelling
Say,
mystery and
what's the magnet line to say it?
I don't know.
Magnets. How did they work?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking rainbows.
I suppose he sounds like he wants knowledge. I mean, he just genuinely doesn't know and wants to
He's
find
confused. He's confused as to the basic laws of physics, I suppose, and
he's
he's
using his-
curious as to them. Like, how do rainbow, how do
out.
rainbows
Using his
operate?
music video as an appeal to people. Like,
Yeah,
tell
while,
me.
while wearing
Dave, have you
Clown
seen
makeup.
clown
the
makeup. Yeah.
Have you seen the doc where Danny Brown plays the Juggalo Festival?
No, never.
Really
no.
good. It's
Wow.
brilliant.
That's
Yeah.
really
He kind of
I
has
love
that
him.
vibe. doesn't
Yeah, he
kinda
does.
would,
The
really,
slap
wouldn't
a bit of rosy things
Yeah,
out of me.
he's like, we're going to bring the weird and they will love it because they have rap competitions at Juggalo concerts.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, so that's how we are.
Celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
Hey, and the end of the world, as we know. It's the end of culture.
EDM.
Stepcore, post to post.
No, I have a piece here on how
Patrick.
the Irish are perceived around the world. But
Okay.
maybe thought we could just talk about how we perceive America first.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Well, I could, yeah.
Twisted it up.
Well, I can tell you
Stereotypes.
how I. Well, actually, yeah. How do?
Will I
how
do?
do
Will
you,
I do this first?
Yeah, go
okay.
on. Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause I was just going.
You're struggling, Dave.
Okay, will we start with France?
Sure.
France think that we have a reputation for partying hard, for being stubborn, and for the fighting spirit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Accurate?
That's all right.
Very
I mean,
nice coming
Are we
from the
going to hit
French.
them back with a French stereotype?
Yeah, or how do we perceive the French?
But in fairness, I think that's a really nice thing coming from the French because like the country that's I think been in the most wars and has actually historically won the most wars, and they're people who get up for anything to protest. So that's kind of a nice thing hearing from them. It's quite a good
Yeah,
thing.
the French never backed us up when we needed them.
They were on their way. We were waiting.
Yeah, they were waiting a long time.
No one backed us up.
The whole thing is pretty confusing.
Yeah. Oh, the Germans are coming now.
Yeah.
The French, no.
Good cheese.
Spanish, no.
Will you, just for listeners, elaborate on that, Johnny?
On what?
How the French didn't come.
How the French didn't come and save us hundreds of years ago after 1798. Their boats were meant to come. Napoleon was meant to come. He stomped all over Egypt instead.
Oh.
Why?
And then people, because he wanted to take over the world, I suppose.
He went.
And then people were mad for Napoleon, still in songs and stuff like that. They're like, Napoleon is our hero.
Yeah.
And
In Irish songs?
yeah,
Really?
he's a character. He features.
How was he your hero?
Because everyone thought he was going to come and kind of emancipate us, etc., etc.
Then why do we have Martello towers all around the country looking out for him?
That was
What
the
do you mean?
British built them.
They're the Brits just
Yes.
to be
In
on
case
top
they
of their
came.
shit.
I see.
And they tried to land off the coast of Cork or something like that. And there were storms. and
Yeah, I
everyone-
remember
Yeah,
the
they
storm.
lost a lot.
And they got
of
lost
ships
in
and
Mayo. A lot of lads came
Yeah.
around.
They
were
went to the
walking
wrong
around
place,
totally-
didn't they? And
Yeah.
they landed and then they bottled it. And
we were wandering around Mayo, bewildered, and they got back in their boat and left.
yeah,
or
like,
something
this
like
is
that,
shit,
yeah.
lads. Let's go.
And then people
Let's go.
thought they were coming to invade, and nobody knew what was going on. The ordinary peasant folk of the area, whatever. And
Confusing times.
confusing times all around.
Funny we had.
Never
No
forget.
sat nav.
Don't quite remember. Yeah, no.
Okay, next country. What about Australia?
How do they perceive?
What do they think of
It
us?
says here, this is what they think of us.
They are mostly us.
We
yeah.
are them.
Yeah. It says, when you hear an Irish accent in a foreign bar, you can count on at least two things. Two good things, that they serve Guinness and you will not want for a drinking buddy. However, the girls seem independent and sexually uninhibited.
Jesus.
The guys enjoy
As opposed to Australian girls.
Yeah. The guys enjoy camaraderie and banter unmatched by anything I have seen outside of the armed forces.
Oh,
Strange.
True.
Strange turn at the end there.
I don't know that there does seem to be that kind of thing because there's lots of hype at the moment about your man Conor McGregor and how he slags off his opponents, and I think what a lot of the fighters have talked about publicly when they've come over to fight in Ireland is that they've realised that everyone talks that way. Everyone slags each other off. It's just the way we do things, and it's not to be taken too personally.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I suppose we
that
can't
is.
do that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're more likely to give the worst abuse to your best friend.
Yeah,
Is kind of true.
totally.
And what about our Irish girls being sexually uninhibited as opposed to Australian girls? Right, wrong?
It's a crazy statement, I
That's
think.
madness. Yeah.
Okay.
Are they, Tracy?
Some are.
Let's not name
Yeah,
names.
it's like yeah.
Here's a good one from Serbia. Oh no, sorry. What do we think of Australians? Now I think of the South Park stereotype.
I'm worried about I'm worried about this
That's
feature
kinda
because
like-
if we're going to go through every
And slander every country. In the world.
I'm worried about where this is going to go.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
yeah.
let's
we're,
just keep
we're
going.
just going to take the piss
I
out of
think we're
every
onto a good
country.
one, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just keep it short and snappy.
Okay, what do you
Kangaroos.
think of Australians?
Kangaroos. That's
Uh-huh.
it. Just leave it at that.
I think they're quite into their fisticuffs.
They
Into
would
their
be
fisticuffs.
the macho culture.
Yeah,
shouldn't we
macho.
say.
I have an opinion that just from what I think and then one from what I've heard from people that have lived there. A lot of my friends that have lived there said that they're kind of assholes.
You can generalize a whole country.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just I didn't say it.
It's doable.
I'm sure
Friends
there's
of
a
mine
good
have
few
said
million
it,
that are saying.
and that they're a little bit racist.
Ah, no, you never know. I don't think they have any reason to be.
Happy
since-
St. Patrick's Day! What? Are we in 5 minutes here?
Yeah.
Cool. How many people live in Australia?
Hey, is that a tumbleweed?
But that's not a fair.
It's
I'm,
contentious.
Sporty, very athletic.
They would be sports.
Beautiful people.
They
Beautiful.
would be
people.
good-looking people, I would think.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Sure.
you know,
Okay, let's move on.
animals that can kill you.
Post-European race of cork hat wearing.
Speaking of
Brigands.
speaking of racism, South Africa
Wicked. It's,
Lovely segue.
oh,
thinks that we are gregarious, witty, warm, stern, and rather stoic. However, the Africans that were saying this said the
This
most
is South Africa.
South Africa, sorry. Most of the Irish people they meet are from the clergy over there. So they were saying,
Stoic.
yeah,
We always
witty,
send them
warm.
over to missionaries and
Very good.
Yeah.
at
do
the,
things, and then we're
kids.
like, sorry about that. We didn't mean for our
with the
missionaries to do
children.
that.
very friendly.
Now I'm going to say that
Very
my
private.
perception of South Africa would be that it's racist.
Oh, dude, thinking about the apartheid days. But I
Because
mean,
they're
there'd
already
be
cool
an
to
element
the-
of that still, but they're getting over it. It's
I
like
think
we got
there's
over our troubles in
yeah.
the north. Everyone's kind of a bit better these days about that kind of thing.
There's a lot of, I think, American celebrities going to move to South Africa now, aren't there? Because of
Moustache?
if Trump gets
Oh,
put in.
okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Sam Jackson and Whoopi
We'll
Goldberg.
have a
I
massive
think
flight.
they'd move there.
yeah, and we'll tell them they're not coming in.
Amongst others.
yeah.
They're
yeah.
annoyed that Trump is going to
If he
ruin
gets
Americans that are going to go to South Africa and live in enormous gated compounds away from.
I think of nothing of South Africa now apart from that band. What are they called?
Diarmid.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're very good.
That- that's
actually.
all I think
I
of
like
South
them, to be
Africa.
honest.
Have you seen a video where she gives birth to a prawn?
That's Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
That's their best one. Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, I'll move through these quickly. Okay, Israel believes that the troubles were worse than the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Let's pick a different country.
Yeah, do we have to?
And the food that we eat is bland and unhealthy. Serbia think we're rebellious, brave, good fighters and drinkers, and we have good music.
Now, I worked with a Serbian once,
Okay.
and he drove a massive BMW, and he used to bring us down for burgers, and he'd play a song called Gas, Gas, which was all about the petroleum industry. And he used to tell me things.
Borat
Hang on.
type stereotype.
He was cool. His name was Mirza, and he used to tell me about like, oh Dave, he used to sound like an American Italian gangster. bizarrely. But he used to say, "Oh, Dave, you got the sin." I don't know what accent that is, but I'll keep going with it. "Oh, Dave, you got to check out." What accent that is? You say you got to check out the Serbian shop near me. They've got amazing Serbian produce, and I'd be like, "Oh, what have they got, Mirza?" And he'd be like, "Oh, you got like Serbian cornflakes, and you got like Serbian sausage." And I was like, "What are the cornflakes like?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just really cheap." I was like, "Ah, cool, man."
That's what makes them different.
Wicked.
Yeah.
The Serbian style is cheaper.
There you go.
Okay.
Memories.
Did you ever have any of the cornflakes?
Never.
Oh.
He did bring in some of the sausages though, and it was that spreadable sausage that you get in Holland.
Spreadable sausage.
Yeah, gross.
Just a cheaper
Jesus.
Serbian version.
Yeah.
Is that like pate? As in, I would imagine it's
like
just like
a
the inside
really
of a sausage.
shit pate. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Comes in a tube, like you know that you get dog food in the same thing.
And you squeeze it out and just like eat it. Do you have to cook it?
Spread it on.
Is it pre-cooked
on
or-
sliced pan?
Oh God.
Spread them in a sliced pan.
All right, I'm eating that tomorrow.
Actually, do you also know about that spreadable sausage in Holland?
No.
And like one of the other nice sandwich decorations that they have is they have like this powder in Holland, which is just licorice powder, and you just put it on a piece of bread and eat the bread.
2 lines of
That
it.
is fucking disgusting.
If you want, if you really like licorice. But yeah, it's this gross powder that you just put on and make a sandwich out
It's
of
just
it.
like a dusting. Can you have it in like a salt shaker and just like get your licorice in there?
Yeah, it's weird, you know.
Okay, what was the last one here? We have
Not great food in Holland.
Really?
Yeah, one of their
All the
one of their
pastries,
one of their
though.
dishes like
see where the countries think we don't have great food.
I'd agree
well,
with them.
just one dish from Holland. It's called oliebollen, and it's like a delicacy over there. And do you know what that translates to?
No.
Greasy cake ball.
Lovely.
You can also be called that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get up here. Egglog. Have you seen egglog?
Oh, of course, egglog.
Yeah. No?
I drink eggnog with it at Christmas.
No, egglog.
Yeah, I drink eggnog with it at Christmas.
Oh, gross.
The
Give me,
eggnog
I'll
is
have
like
the
the,
egglog and
Oh.
some eggnog.
No.
Oh wow! Look at that.
It's
This
like-
is a tube of like a cylindrical tube of
Hard-boiled
I've
egg.
seen
hard-boiled
that
egg.
before. It's mental.
Disgusting,
Wow.
isn't it?
I
Yeah.
wonder how they do that.
Oh.
How do they get it like one egg all
It's
the way
like the
on?
figs. How do they get the figs
Yeah.
in there? How do they
Actually,
get
while
the-
we're talking about food, look at this, right? This is a dead squid that's dead, but
Just to
Thank God
reiterate.
for that. Otherwise, it'd be a zombie squid.
Yeah.
no, it's called, I'll say now in Japanese what it translates to. I think it's called moving squid dish, but he's
Okay.
got no head. But when you put soy sauce on him on your dish, he starts to move.
Yeah, I've seen that. It reactivates nerve endings
Yeah.
and all the
Wow,
tentacles.
just-
just
start thing
all I'm saying is
moving.
just imagine that's a chicken or a cow.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
What is the point of that?
It's just to be
Again,
freaky.
imagine like a leg of lamb and putting a bit of
It's called
putting a
active
bit of red currant
dancing.
jelly on it and it starts moving about.
Active dancing squid rice bowl.
Active
Please.
dancing
It's
squid
so-
rice bowl.
It's so beautiful.
And like they eat it and like it's moving around in their mouth and everything.
Yeah.
Not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, so someone's trying to pick it up there with some chopsticks and it's,
It's trying to get away.
fending them off.
The science here says the sodium in the soy sauce triggers a reaction that makes the muscle spasm, and the fucking squid
Cool.
just starts crawling around the plate.
Well, there's one for you at home to try it if
That
you
is
want
gross.
to
On toast.
pretend like you're eating a live animal.
Yeah. Okay, let me finish these real quick. Okay, this is America, but it's Italian Americans think we are one-line virtuosos. You know that feeling when someone nails you and you don't think of the right comeback until a month later? Irish men never feel that way because they always seem to think of the right comeback then and there.
Yeah, that's my experience.
Yeah, I've never had that.
Yeah.
Always hitting them
Feel that way.
perfectly.
Yeah.
And they also think
Story of my
we're
life.
a little defeatist. We're always looking for the dark cloud attached to the
Yeah,
silver
that's probably
lining.
Yeah,
true.
that's because we're not allowed to
Yeah.
have nice things in this country. Always ends up bad. Football, the fighting recently, whatever.
Yeah.
Generally, like, yes, come on, Ireland is gonna. Oh, it happened again.
We're lucky as well. We do have
Yeah, we have our charms.
low corporation tax.
That's
Thank
and
God.
all the multi-billion tech
yeah, we give
industry.
away all of our oil to people. That's lucky, isn't it?
And the last thing they said is we are stubborn, but in a good way. We seem to be physically incapable of giving up on anything, and we're expressive and musical. There you go.
Okay.
Any
What do things even mean?
could have been worse.
Yeah. I
Could've-
think they're holding
could've.
back, to be honest. I think they're
Yeah.
thinking.
I would have thought there'd be a lot more
Because when we
drinking
went
involved in
on
that.
to the Urban Dictionary,
Oh, Jesus.
basically, the thing to make something bad, like if you put Irish before it. So it's like, you Irish that up. It's like you fucked it up.
Did it backwards.
Yeah, you did
Yeah.
it backwards, and like there's like it's just used as a prefix to mean that
But hang
you've
on.
made a mess of
It's
it.
just it's the hierarchy of incompetence.
Who
We have
put-
Kerryman jokes.
Yeah, and then
everywhere else.
everyone else has iron jokes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what the poor K people have.
Do you know what? Have you ever heard of the
Is it not?
word
Sorry.
hibernophobia?
Fear of hibernia?
No, it refers to oppression, hatred, or fear of Irish people as an ethnic group. Hibernophobia.
They just hate us.
Hibernophobia.
Watch out for them.
Yeah.
I thought we did oh no, we.
They're
going to
be furious listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Not phobias.
Okay, Johnny, we have you here, so let's use you. Do you want to talk about Block or St. Patrick's Day?
I think it's St. Patrick's Day. You should probably talk about St.
Yeah,
Patrick's
yeah,
Day. and St.
yeah.
Patrick.
Okay. How is Block?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Millions of years ago.
Who's St. Patrick?
Yes.
St. Patrick was a Christian missionary man, slave fellow, born in somewhere in Roman Britain, or maybe Wales or Scotland.
I remember thinking Wales or something.
Yeah,
Like that.
somewhere.
He was kidnapped.
Roman Britain. And then he was kidnapped. He was 16. I think he was kidnapped by a load of Irish pirates some night.
And was he kidnapped from Mayo from the Croagh Patrick?
What? No, he's kidnapped from like England. Yeah, from Britain.
Brought over.
And he was brought over, and then he had
myth
to.
has it he was up
He had to.
Cloud pirates.
pirates.
sailed to Croagh Patrick, plucked him from the top.
They had a blimp and they flew over.
He
and
was,
they
he was,
plucked him.
slowly conveyed via hot air balloon and calmly arrived later that day. He was a servant, slave, pig herder living in some sort of decrepit hovel, and he escaped. And then he went back to Britain or something like that. And then he had some dream saying that he had to come back to Ireland. And then he came back, and he depaganized everything apparently.
And what about the snakes?
The snakes, he banished snakes. Apparently, he banished all sorts of creatures. Apparently, he banished monsters from lakes and things like this. You know the pilgrimage up in Lough Derg. You ever heard of that?
No, never.
No.
Lough Derg, where it's in the last week or every weekend in July or something like that. You can go up.
Okay.
For me, 3 days and nights. People go around. You don't sleep. There's like fasting.
Oh.
You have to spend kind of a night awake or whatever. But apparently, St. Patrick kind of exorcised some terrifying monster from the
There
lake.
was a sweet sea monster up in Lough Derg.
There was a sweet sea monster up there in the 7th
Ah.
century, and apparently he got rid of him. And so ever since then, there's some sort of pilgrimage you can still go to.
No way.
And have a terrible time.
And where
on
do you
account.
sleep? Just in a
You
tent?
don't sleep.
You just walk around the rain.
At one point, yeah, people would literally walk around the big
Screaming.
church. They walk around all night.
For 3
Is
days?
that true?
One part of it, not so for the other days, you'd be doing these stations to like wells. And stuff, but
This is
no,
real-
no
this is real
shoes.
talk.
This is
Yeah.
real world. This is live
What's
to
that,
work.
what's that like flagellism? Is it kind of
Some
punishing
sort of
yourself?
asceticism thing. Yeah, you punish
Uh,
yourself. Some
yeah.
sort of transcendence.
Yeah.
We all do
through
that.
Punish
punishment.
yourself for the sins.
Every night.
Well, yeah, essentially. Yeah. What are you doing in there, Dave?
Eat your dinner, Dave.
Practicing my religion, Mum.
But he, yeah, there was also snakes.
I'm
he banished all the
banishing
snakes.
beasts from
He
lakes.
kind of banished paganism. This is the deal. And he then enforced or brought about Christian tradition, the Judeo-Christian slave morality that some people might
What a beast.
regard it there as.
Yeah,
but
so-
he was the old school depaganizer.
And that's where the shamrock came from, right?
No, the shamrock comes from some sort of parable he gave, apparently,
Yeah, he used it.
describing the Trinity or something in the
Yeah.
3 leaves. Then
Okay.
there's accounts in the 1700s of English visitors to Ireland talking about the shamrogues, and saying that the vulgar, superstitious Irish as a clear case of hibernophobia, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Describing that
The
this is-
Shamrocks that were a tribute
wear
band,
them.
weren't they?
The Shamrocks were a book. It was a kid's book.
Yeah.
that they'd wear these, and that what does it say? Seldom many of them would be still sober
Can I
by
ask
nightfall
you,
or something.
were shamrocks important beforehand?
Most likely, I have no idea. Probably not.
I've never
But
seen a
as well,
wild
see, everyone gets pissed out of their heads on Paddy's Day.
and drowns your shamrock.
Yes, but
Yeah.
also because Lenten observances were to be, they were ignored on that day. There's a lifting of the
so
ban,
you could go mad.
so you could go mad, and people could eat meat and have a meaty
Right.
non-Lent feast,
And it's just like if you
drink their
stick a
brains
shamrock
out.
on it, it's grand.
Yeah. So they just
Shamrock
drink their
pass.
brains out
Yeah.
and go balloonless basically
Cool.
for that one day. So that's why perhaps everyone goes so absolutely lula, and it's like a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Have you seen people do that on Patrick's Day, throwing their shamrocks in their pint and drinking it?
No.
I've seen a lot of weird stuff.
I think drowning the shamrock just generally means just getting pissed as
No,
opposed to
it's
actually.
an actual thing.
Really?
Yeah, you put your shamrock in your pint as well.
Oh.
Maybe at the end.
No, I've never heard of that actually.
Yeah. Drowning in
Just
shamrock.
chewing on
Apparently they were eaten to give sweet breath. Also,
Ooh.
this
That's like parsley.
perhaps.
I'm glad we have shamrocks and not parsley.
Johnny,
Wouldn't be as cool of a symbol.
How true is this?
Very.
For many years, blue was the colour most often associated with St. Patrick. Green was considered unlucky.
I didn't know that.
No?
The blue was one of the old kind of colours of Ireland as opposed
St.
to green. Yeah.
Exactly.
Can we get a source on that, please?
St. Patrick's blue was considered symbolic
Is
of
that it?
Ireland for many centuries.
Blue is the Irish colour. Yes, it is.
And
It's a
the
dark
Irish
blue.
presidential standard is still
Yes,
blue.
dark blue.
No way.
Yeah.
And when green was brought in by St. Patrick, did he say, I
No.
like green, or did he?
No, I don't know where.
Did
where
he consider
greenery
like a
came
blue
in.
pagan? Maybe because
No.
I presume, what's the name of that colour blue that the Irish warriors used to wear? There's a certain name for it.
No idea.
It's a tone of blue.
Cobalt.
It could be but
Avatar.
It's a certain rock that around
Azure.
Ireland that, when crushed, gives off this pigment, which is a rich kind of
The Irish.
Braveheart.
yeah, like that. But it was a thing, and then it was drawn on people's faces and like kind of
I
pagan
don't know. I
times.
don't know when greenery came in as a kind of symbol of.
There's
Of Irishness or
40
something.
shades of green. So it was a
The,
thing.
the,
40 shades of
the,
green.
the parade started in the US,
Yes.
in New York, and it was a thing to raise money for the British Army. It was like the Irish regiment in the US, and it was like a British Army thing.
Right, no
Which is
way.
pretty hilarious.
What would they do with the money?
What would they do with the money? Be in the army and conquer shit and go
Yeah.
valiantly here and there, I suppose.
Extend the empire.
Yeah, yeah, and so on. Yeah, put on that Fagner there.
Here's another thing I heard. Up until the 70s, Irish law prohibited pubs opening on March 17th as a mark of respect for this religious day. It was feared leaving the pubs open would be too tempting for some during Lent and would lead to disrespectful amount of drunkenness on this most solemn day.
Drunkenness has been a part and parcel of this feast since the earliest records in
So
the
is that bull?
1700s. Counts in the 1700s of people being pissed out of their minds on the day.
Where's that fact from?
IrishCentral.com.
A lot of bollocks.
That
That's
was
the worst site.
Yeah.
Good. Very good.
And
Where's your research from?
I don't have any.
Yeah.
how did they manage? How did they
I'm not
manage
trying
to
to sing it, I'm
sneak
just
in?
checking.
How did they manage to sneak in that day into Lent to say, can we have just
I
like
don't know,
one day?
I don't know since when it's been recognised, but it's recognised by like loads of different churches all over the place since, like.
Did it just
since
become a case of like
medieval
everyone's just
period or
like, I'm dying for a booze and I'm starving. Can we just take a break?
something? Most likely.
Have a buzz.
Is he
I wonder
celebrated
where that came in,
anywhere
I wonder
else?
where- Is he celebrated it? He celebrated
Okay.
it. Well,
Well,
yes.
the other bit of research that we did, Dave, have you ever seen the people of Montserrat?
The Black Irish of
The
Montserrat.
Black Irish, the Afro-Irish of Montserrat.
Yes.
You have?
Yeah, I saw a little YouTube doc.
Okay.
Little clipping.
Yeah.
So you've heard them sing and all the old...
Have you heard them
speak.
sing? Have you
I
heard them speak?
I haven't heard them sing. I heard them speak though. do
Okay, I'll
sound
quickly
quite
do a bit
Irish.
of stuff on this. So Montserrat is the only other country where St. Patrick's Day is a public holiday. Oh, Montserrat, by the way, is an island in the Caribbean.
Which,
I
which
guess-
blew up a couple of years
Yeah.
ago. Remember the huge volcano?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
fucking blew the fuck up, yeah.
You might recognise the Conan. I remember reading a Jules Holland book before. There's a huge recording studio there that George Martin set up. He's considered
saw
the
it.
fifth Beatle.
Yeah, he died recently.
Yeah, he did. And everyone thought it was your man who wrote Game of Thrones. And he had to come on and be like, I'm
Oh,
not dead.
Martin.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not
right.
dead, guys.
This is George Martin, the
10th Beatle.
guy
Yeah.
that
He
you're
was the
you would
producer,
like.
basically.
No,
yeah.
that's John Martin.
He did
What
all
did
the
I say?
Beatles albums.
George.
George,
Martin.
Yeah.
sorry.
And he did like Live and Let Die and Goldfinger, Candle in the Wind.
He brought in all the kind
All
of
that stuff.
wild sound design into the Beatles' music.
The hard panning.
Yeah, all the crazy stuff on the desk that no one had done before, and like all the kind of special effects in Sgt. Pepper's, and he
No
had
way.
all the ideas for some of that mad stuff. You know, you think John Lennon was in a very tripped out phase at the time, taking lots of drugs, and he would just spout kind of themes at George Martin, and Martin would go, okay, how am I going to do this in a practical sense in the studio?
That's mad.
And he'd go and figure out a certain way of doing it, and like, you know, all the kind of slowing things down, speeding it up, and
Wasn't Jimi
Dealing with
Hendrix the
hippies?
first guy
Yeah,
to
dealing with
experiment
hippies.
with stereo?
No.
who?
Jimi
Sure,
Hendrix.
John Lennon guilty of the worst
He
song
used to-
ever written in the world.
Oh, yeah?
Imagine. A pure hell. Description of absolute hell. No countries.
Oh.
No possessions. A communist hell.
Brilliant.
Thanks,
Yeah.
John.
Anarchists.
But sorry, so Montserrat, it was, I don't think it was up to much. And then he came along and made that amazing recording studio there as an exotic location. And Dire Straits, The Police, Paul McCartney, Elton John, Duran Duran, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Rolling Stones, Lou Reed, everyone went there and recorded there. And it became this posh, I guess, Caribbean retreat of rock stars.
Is that? I mean,
recording.
the thing about Montserrat was
Kinda like
the
South Africa.
location of the island, wasn't it? It was a midway point between Europe and America, and the boats used to kind of travel to there to and stock up and refuel and then go on to America from there. So a lot of the slaves that came from Africa and came from Europe met there and then went on to go to mainland America and South America. So that's why that was such a big mixing place.
Okay, I know it's close to Antigua, but I'm not
think
really
it was
sure.
a big port at the time.
Right.
So that's why there were so many mixes of cultures that went to that place.
I'd like to take a minute to play a clip for the listeners, though.
Yeah.
What's the clip?
Of the Montserrat singing.
Yeah.
Do you think it would translate?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, good night.
And that was the clip. Montserrat.
That's the new Tragtime Sig tune.
Okay, this is the Black Irish of Montserrat in the Caribbean. So there was 70% of the island in 1678 was made up of Irish people and the rest were African slaves. And famously on St. Patrick's Day, all the Irish were getting pissed and the slaves had an uprising and kind of bet them.
And here's a clip
No,
from
there was a
1976.
failed slave revolt,
Oh,
and they were
failed.
crushed mercilessly and executed.
Okay, you got that wrong.
But that was after, though, because originally, I think very further back, those slaves were Irish and African. And then that was like the very start of slavery. Then the Irish slaves started getting power and became slave owners.
I think they were their merry overlords.
Yeah, but I think at the very start.
At the very start, the Irish were servants and they
Yeah.
had to serve for 7 years. And once their contract was over, then they.
But there was some kind of interconnection of the two groups of kind of suppressed people.
Yeah,
or
well, that's
oppressed
why we
people.
have these people. They're all interracial.
But obviously it went south then, and everyone hated each other again.
What do I have
Quickly,
here?
yeah.
Let's play the clip.
Thank
But
you.
there is this.
Consistency.
The singing is like a cork slant to the.
Yeah, all the surnames, and they're all O'Reilly this.
But
And
when you arrive at the airport, you get an Irish harp stamped on your. Sorry,
Makeup,
in the
yeah.
airport, you get a shamrock on your passport. Their national emblem is a carved Irish shamrock, which has a crest of a woman with a cross and a harp. And
Sweet.
they also have Irish recipe for a national dish
That gets,
called.
that gets you into the club all night.
Yeah,
Did you bring your harp and your cross?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
but it'd be a
Let's play
great
the
place to go on St. Patrick's Day. It'd be mad. Okay.
Live is in the Black Irish of Montserrat. Shot tourist work.
Unfortunately, it's a bit far to take the wife and family.
What a tune to go in on.
4,128 miles from Cork, give or take a few. It's on the Emerald Isle, all right, and they'll feel quite at home among its Atlantic beaches, green fields, harps and shamrocks. But the trouble is that this Kinsale is at the wrong side of the Atlantic.
Interesting.
It's Kinsale in Montserrat, a West Indian island, the Emerald Isle of the Caribbean, and home of a unique race of people.
There's a spot in me heart which no Colleen me own. There's a depth in me soul never sounded unknown. Sure I love the dear silver that shines in your hair, and the brow that's all furrowed and wrinkled with care.
Ah,
There you
so
go.
the listeners
He'll be in the
can't-
studio live next week.
But
Wouldn't be
that-
at a place down the pub down in Galway.
That was clearly a Caribbean man wearing all green, drinking a pint of Guinness with a St. Patrick's Day coaster, singing old Cork songs.
Hanging out tunes.
Because that's his heritage. It's just
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah.
I love it. I'd love to go down to
Interesting.
St. Patrick's Day.
It's a great place. Rum and Patrick's Day, I'd say, good mix.
Yeah. They seem to have
Absolutely love
calypso
rum.
competitions on St. Patrick's Day there that don't look great, to be honest.
What is
yeah,
that?
apparently they.
Calypso? Lord Kitchener?
music.
Sort of.
Steel drum makes me think
okay.
of limbo dancing for some
So
reason.
you're singing calypso music, and that's
Yeah.
the competition. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to next.
We want
You know
some
what
facts.
else? He came to Wicklow first. That's where he landed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
He landed. Apparently, when he came back, he landed in Wicklow.
Sorry, who?
St. Patrick.
St. Patrick.
Grace John's Harbour?
Exactly there.
Oh, really?
He wasn't allowed in because he wasn't in a yacht. He landed in Wicklow, and the local populace were entirely unhappy to see him. Whatever, they weren't too happy with him at all. So they started throwing rocks at him and his entourage, as you do at Wicklow Harbour, probably.
Yeah.
And Patrick was unscathed. They all missed him.
Of course.
And his buddy was not so lucky, and he got his face smashed in with a big rock.
Jesus.
And knocked all his teeth
Blimey.
out. And he became known as Montach, or in Irish, like toothless one.
Okay.
No way. I was going to say toothless Montauk. But
Yeah,
that was-
Montach. It's like
No way.
Irish word mean like one with no teeth.
Wow. no.
And so they went off, and he found a way in somewhere else, whatever, and then Christianized everything. But that guy Montach was undeterred and came back to Wicklow later and made a church called Kilvanton, which is the church of the toothless one.
Yeah.
Which is
Wow.
the name of the county now, Kilvanton in Irish.
No way.
Oh,
And it's from this toothless dude who was there with St. Patrick who got his face smashed in.
Cool.
Apparently.
That's pretty nuts.
And apparently St. Patrick's, the cathedral as well in town, in the city centre in Dublin, whatever. He caused some sort of well to magically spring up there while walking around. Possibly
Yeah.
thirsty or something. You saints are always doing that.
I'm thirsty. Bam, there
Yeah,
it
body
is.
gown,
Yeah.
plastic water fountain, kind of.
Start selling it immediately. You know, does
Yeah,
it cure you?
basically,
Give me all
yeah.
the money.
Yeah. Order now, yeah. Yeah.
I'm surprised we don't have an export of like bottled Irish water with shamrocks.
Oh,
all
we
over
do.
it. Do we?
Oh, we have. You can get stuff online. If you like, you get bottles of Irish air.
Oh, yeah.
Mud
Oil.
and shit like that.
We did a
Mud
thing on
and
that
air.
when they were selling
And there's a
air
guy
from-
selling with the DVDs of the fireplaces. Have you seen those? It was like a turf fire. 4 hours. Now
Oh,
8
okay, and
additional
you just
hours.
put it on your
Director's cut.
TV.
You put it on your TV and it's like this turf fire.
There was a thing when people
Yeah,
were
turf fire
selling
DVD.
Yeah.
fake Irish.
You get them on YouTube now.
Certificates, wasn't it?
Yeah, the government.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
Fucking government.
Yes, Tom Cruise was given one.
And it were total, like it was
Yeah.
total bullshit. It was like you are Irish, you just buy the certificate, and you are, you know, and
Yeah.
I was tempted for a while to start up an online store selling traditional Irish holding sticks.
Oh,
which were just sticks.
But if you-
Sticks.
Yeah, I was going
Yeah.
to create. I was going to create
Yeah,
like a
right, right.
little bit of a story.
Well, that
behind
tradition
it.
goes way back.
Get your traditional Irish.
Can you
holding
get
stick.
them on doubledrop.com?
You can't unfortunately. You can
DBLE
you can get really great T-shirts there.
Oh,
funny enough, yeah.
I heard of
strange.
an Irish guy.
That's an
who-
Irish artist, isn't
Check
it?
it
that
out,
does the
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I heard of a redhead guy who sells locks of his hair to American tourists.
Yeah.
Gross.
I know.
Totally gross.
Locks of his red hair. But sorry, the certificates are hilarious. Yeah, they're. Remember, Eamon Gilmore gave one to Tom Cruise, who he claims his Irish ancestry stretches back to the
He proved
Knights of
that in the
Strongbow.
film Far and Away when he did the most amazing Irish accent of all time.
Oh yeah.
I missed that.
Far and Away with him
Never
and
seen
The land grab.
What's her one's name? Nicole Kidman.
His wife.
Both playing Irish
Yeah.
people
Wow.
and like Tweedly Eye.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Have you seen that film Leap Year?
Yes, I made
No.
Conan.
Oh,
Oh,
Here.
wow.
yes, yeah.
Where they
She showed me a
it's the
clip.
best film on the planet.
It is the
amazing.
worst.
Yeah, can
Who's
you
in it?
stay in the hostel? You're married
No one
now,
you'd
aren't
know.
you?
Yeah. It's like,
Actually,
oh,
the lads who play down in Dan's, they're in it. They're playing at the wedding.
It was the
Wow.
one from Home and Away, the redhead one from Home and Away.
it's not her. It
back
just
in the
looks
day.
like her.
Does it?
Yeah.
She's actually been in some other films, that actress. I've seen her in
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
since then. It's truly
that
madly,
redhead-
deeply awful.
Yeah.
Redhead Australian one. Is she not like Sacha Baron Cohen's wife?
Yeah,
Yes.
she's not in it. Yeah.
That's not her. Oh, I thought
No,
it was her.
no. He's in some new movie that's meant to be terrible. Sacha
Yeah.
Baron
Based
Cohen.
on Liam Gallagher.
Yeah.
What?
The character is meant to be based on Liam Gallagher.
Yeah,
Oh
kind
my
of.
God.
Apparently, just
The
his
chops
accent is
and
really
all.
poor, and it's just another shock kind of film.
Yeah.
They crawl up on elephants.
Doesn't look
arms.
great, but it does. It did slag off Liam Gallagher a good bit and told a few good stories about him.
Yeah.
Liam Gallagher threatened to stab him.
Yeah,
in
sounded
the
like
eye.
an absolute moron from those stories. Like,
Oh,
what
I
the
really
fuck?
wish Liam
I
Gallagher
read-
had kicked the
I
shit
read-
out of him. Would have been brilliant.
I read a Vice article before of some girl who ended up hanging out with the Gallagher
Yeah.
brothers, and she said Liam is a dope.
Yeah, he sounded
She's
like one from that
like proper.
Baron Cohen story. Yeah.
Well, he's lived a rock and roll lifestyle. He can do whatever the hell he wants, really.
Yeah.
It's his buzz.
But sorry, so yeah, the certificates, they cost 40 quid or 120 with a frame, and they released them in 2011, and only 3,000 sold, and they had to scrap the whole thing.
Does that mean there's only 3,000 real
Yeah.
Irish people out there? Because if
No.
you don't have a search, you're not real.
But if you're an applicant, you had to prove.
I bet you they were all
That your
brought from
ancestor
people
was
trying to refugees trying to get into the country. That's what that was.
They're Irish heritage certs. That doesn't mean that you're.
Yeah, but I guarantee that's who
Prove
bought
it,
them.
yep.
I guarantee that's
papers-
who bought
your
them.
papers,
So, like, this
please.
is definitely get me in there. That's who
Look,
bought
I've
them.
got my
That's it. You're onto it there.
And John Travolta also claims he's Irish. He actually said the emotional, whimsical, romantic part of me is Irish.
Oh.
He is
But he's
such
been to County Kerry.
a
That's where his family
creepy
are from.
Weirdo.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Just
fine.
like
Yeah,
I was
what is
in
the creepy degenerate
Moneygall
part?
recently. Everyone
yeah?
knows that because of Obama
Yeah.
shopping centre.
shopping
They built
centre.
a big shopping centre called it Obama Plaza.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, honest to God, there's a big, massive sign that says Obama Plaza.
That's hilarious.
And when you go, like it's like a truck stop essentially.
I was going to say, what's a plaza?
Like it's a mall or like whatever.
Tarmac
It's a Burger King and a Spar and a garage.
Little America.
yeah, and it has Obama all over it. It's actually hilarious.
You know the thing though about John Travolta is like supposed to be gay. He's like the Scientology thing, and
They've got him.
Did you see that photograph of him like kissing some man?
We
when
saw
he was getting off the
that
plane?
that film about Scientology when he's
No,
there is a
Gone
photograph
clear.
of him kissing a guy on the mouth getting off a plane, and he said that, or his publicist said that, John's just good friend, like all his good friends. That's the way he greets them. Which is obviously such a lie, but I guess now he has to do that to everybody. Just to keep up that
So
lie, he now has to kiss everybody on the mouth.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Stop it, John. You're
Eamon
loving it.
Gilmore.
Did you see him though? Did you see him though? It was at one of the Oscars, I think, or one of the Golden Globes, where he was trying to he had to announce some actress who had a slightly strange name, and even though he's reading it from an autoprompter, he totally fucked it up. Do you remember that? And he went like Ms. Mrzmerza Samerska.
Did he just bluff it?
But then and then the next year he to make up for it, they got him hosting an award with her. And then he just touched her face for the whole time.
Oh, I did
And he was
see
holding
that.
her face the whole time, just going,
yeah.
"My
Spawned
lovely
a million
darling."
memes, didn't it?
It was the weirdest.
Do you know the
thing
one
ever.
actually?
What a
What's her
strange
one? He did it to that other actress, the blonde one. He went up and kissed her neck at the Oscars or something, and there
Scarlett
was
Johansson,
Scarlett
was that?
Johansson, and he totally sleazed up behind her, and it was like they did a million memes.
Yeah, there's
of
loads
like
of them.
him creeping up on
Yeah.
loads of people
Strange
and
man.
like
Yeah.
kissing him on the neck. Like Travolta
Oh,
sneaks
God.
in, gets a little neck kiss in, exit.
You're making me nervous, John.
Night fever.
Here is the weirdest celebrity tie to Ireland, I think, ever. Have you ever heard of why Julia Roberts comes here?
No.
Does anyone know the story?
He's-
Okay.
She's got reddish enough hair.
No.
No.
Because
Tenuous.
because of her close relationship with a Palmerstown taxi driver.
Oh yeah.
Anyone know the story?
Joey from
Never heard of it.
Palmerstown.
Mental. Okay, so the pair became friends more than a decade ago when Julia Roberts broke up with Kiefer Sutherland just
Right.
days before the ceremony. So she breaks up with Kiefer Sutherland, flies away to Ireland with his mate, who's also in Lost Boys, Patrick something. He was an
Okay.
actor in that.
So no.
They go to the Shelburne, and all the press come. And her hounding, and she feels like she can't leave her room. So she calls a taxi.
When a hero comes along.
Yeah, basically. And he brought her to stay in his 3-bedroom semi in Palmerstown to avoid the media attention.
What's his name?
Mick something.
That sounds like that.
Big Dick Mick. Yeah. Yeah, I heard of him. Yeah.
So yeah, he basically.
Is that not the story of a film, Notting Hill or something, isn't it?
The English
No.
version.
No, is that not like, you know,
Runaway Bride? She was-
some
Blade Runner.
celebrity and
Blade
falls
Runner.
in love with the General Joe,
The
normal
Exorcist,
guy.
yeah.
Son.
But she's a celebrity. No,
Apocalypse Now.
I don't know. Notting Hill is Hugh Grant, isn't it?
no, it's like Notting Hill, but it's another one.
No, I like Blade Runner. Let's go with Blade Runner.
Okay.
It was Blade Runner.
It was just
She
like
was
that
a
story.
synthetic. It was a
Yes.
synthetic.
You're out, real.
Yeah.
It was a synthetic.
But yeah, so she just like ran away to his gaff in Palmerstown and hung out there for a couple of days or
We've all
weeks
been
or
there.
something.
Yeah.
All distraught over her marriage, and the taxi driver looked after her.
Yeah.
And now she
Very
recently got married to someone and asked the taxi driver. She sees him as a father figure now
Drove her
because
down the
her
aisle.
dad died from cancer. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Fair play to him.
Listen
He's,
to
he's a
this.
good guy taxi driver, not the
Yeah,
other type.
except if you just look at it as in, like, if that was one of your mates, you'd think, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? If one of
Got it.
your mates was Julia Roberts there, it's just like...
Hey, Julie.
hanging out in Palmerstown
okay,
in his
Judy?
3-bed semi. But
you
listen to
went
this.
back to a taxi driver's
I
house.
suppose all of
hung
her,
out there for
her
3
rich
days.
friends were just
Okay.
yes men, you know. She needed someone real to tell her what was real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucked up actors.
Okay, so when Julia
Kissing
Roberts
people on planes.
married her lover, she asked her old friend Mick Devine, a driver from Palmerstown, to walk her down the aisle. The Irishman in his 50s, his wife Breda, and their 3 children were flown out. The actress and the chauffeur met in 91 when he agreed to drive the Hollywood star, who was 23 at the time, while she was in Ireland. They have kept their friendship a close secret, and the Pretty Woman star now considers her driver as a father figure. A friend revealed last night, Michael is very fond of Julia and is extremely happy that she's put so much trust in him since they first met. When she asked him to give her away, it was the icing on the cake. He's very protective of her as if she was his own daughter.
That's weird.
Julia sought Mick's approval before she married Danny
This is
as
fucked
well.
up.
What?
So she sees the father figure, asks, she's like, I want to marry this cameraman.
No.
Should I? Yeah.
No, you have to come back and live in the family. No, you got to come back and live
Back
in the
to
family.
Palmerstown with you.
Come in, Julie, your
I've
dinner's
just
ready.
done up the spare room.
Yeah.
But listen to how well he's done out of the gig.
Oh, yeah.
Mick and his
Got a
wife
souped up taxi out of it.
are looked after her so well that she brought them to LA and her PA handed out Mick's business cards to all the A-listers.
So you could drive them around?
Yeah. As a consequence, he's driven everyone from Sinatra to Prince.
What?
And she also
Whoa.
bought him a 7 Series BMW because she prefers them to Mercs.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
That is really fucking.
she
But it's not about that though. Like he they both. It's just all about
It's kind of
each other and about.
a good story.
she was 23. She was freaked out,
yes,
and
it's
he.
with love and sentimentality.
The love,
It is.
yeah,
It's a-
yeah.
It's a
happy
nice
ending.
one.
But it's
Yeah.
mental that she still comes back here all the time to Palmerstown to hang out with him. Her dad.
She's made
Not
her bed
really.
now. She beat.
Like, yeah.
Well,
I just thought that was mental.
doesn't
is
make
pretty
her
nice,
films any better though.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, yeah. She'll probably be there
St. Patrick's
tomorrow.
Day.
Yeah.
And that's a tale for any young starlets out there. Come over and hang out with Irish taxi drivers.
that is-
That'll
that is
change
the
your
deal.
life.
Yeah.
And Conan, how about, I know you have been up near Sarah Jessica Parker's house.
Donegal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was so surprised by how small that was.
It's Matthew Broderick's house.
Oh.
The Brodericks live near. Yeah, it's just a tiny cottage.
Yeah.
Middle of nowhere. Well, I think it's Matthew Broderick's family used to go there, and then she married him. So, like, they're from. Some of them are from Donegal. Matthew Broderick was in that. You know.
Matthew Broderick got pissed and ran someone
That
over up in
was-
Donegal.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
You know that? Hit
He
and
had
run.
somebody.
Oh.
Back in the day.
Got
He was
away with
ruled
it.
an accident.
Yeah.
Why are we talking? What are you talking about? Got away with it.
He
He was ruled an accident.
He was drunk and
Like
ran over
celebrities
someone.
get away
Was he
with
drunk?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
Well,
gonna
he didn't
say
get charged. I think. Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't drunk probably.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, in my
Probably didn't kill anybody.
In my opinion, who
But it
knows?
happened anyway. There was something like that. But
What
yeah,
a
but
fucking
it's not it's not like a mansion or anything. It's a tiny, not a tiny cottage. It's a nice little cottage.
I
But
was so
No, you're right.
shocked.
It's a tiny 6-bed cottage.
it's not 6 bed at all. It's a 3 max.
Do you want to see an aerial photo of it? It's tiny. And I
Don't put aerial photos of his gaff.
Look, I got the keys right here.
they're already up there. I saw it. That's why I was so surprised at how modest it is. I thought she'd be a real.
It was. I was up there
Materialistic.
with
They're
my
trying to be
family
real.
on,
Sarah
a,
Jessica
on
Parker.
a weekend holiday, and I walked out in the back garden, and it's like in the middle of nowhere, even for Donegal.
You walked around
there's-
the back
there's-
garden.
They
Yeah.
walked out to the back garden through the back door.
I'm getting it up.
You invited.
I'm getting the aerial
It's
photo
my
up.
house. No,
What?
our house is right beside
Oh,
their
God,
house.
sorry, right.
So right,
Conan's neighbours at
the
Matthew
neighbours,
Broderick.
like, so I walked out.
And
the
you're
back
talking
garden.
about him drinking.
I walked out the back
Ah,
garden
it's
and
a
I
story.
was taking a yawn, just going, oh, lovely countryside. And I look over and
Beep, beep,
Sarah
and nearly ran you
Jessica,
over.
Sarah Jessica Parker's there in the field beside me doing yoga.
Oh my god! Of
Honest
course
to
she
God.
is.
And I was just looking at her going, what?
Wow.
Get off my lawn!
What are you doing here? But there you go.
You
that's,
just turn the music up louder. Bum,
Yeah.
Bum, bum.
But she said, she said she's dreamt of making the move permanent. She said, I feel like I could learn to knit and earn a living in Ireland
Oh, Sarah.
and would like to move there.
What does she think of our country? I can learn to knit because we're dying out for knitters over here.
Well, it's funny.
well, you can never have enough iron jumpers.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. She knows we live off them.
Anyway, very
Yeah.
surprised by that. I thought
Was
she
that
would have
not
been.
a scandal? That's another good one. Aran jumpers. Was there not a big scandal that they were just importing them from China and sewing the Aran jumper tag on, and therefore they were able to say made in Ireland because they sewed the tags on in Ireland?
Well, Chanel does that in Paris.
Yes, but it's worse
That's
that it comes from
disgraceful. I wouldn't
Ireland.
support any
Got a
clothing
reputation.
manufacturer that would do that kind
They're
of thing.
made by talented
Yeah.
kids.
Doubledrop.com wouldn't dare.
Doubledrop.com
think
would
of it.
never do that.
Not at all.
I've
I don't
seen
know
their
them. I
sweatshops
don't know
and they
them,
feed
but-
them every couple of hours.
I don't know them. I don't know them.
Okay, two other facts. We all know Michael Jackson lived here and did an album just before he died, wasn't he here or something?
In Wicklow.
Grace
yeah.
Lodge. There's something
Yeah.
about.
He actually
His
danced
last
on that same
song
hill that
before he
Foster and Allen
died
did.
was recorded here.
Yeah, he danced on the same hill as Foster and
Foster and
Allen.
Allen,
in
yeah,
that
they were
song.
mates.
He
They
moved
collaborated.
to a place near a studio down the country called Grace Lodge, and he bought a house around there because he loved it so much. And that's all I know.
Ronnie Wood also bought it in Kildare with his ex. And who else?
Didn't Daniel Day-Lewis live in Ramwood or something like
He's
that?
up the road, yeah.
Celebrities are drawn to this country.
People,
Because
people, I think people kind of ignore you. Wouldn't
Yeah.
they kind
Yeah,
of?
Yeah.
a little bit.
Like,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'd say you wouldn't mob someone
The
as,
whole
as
Palmerston
such.
thing is probably a total. There was no
Yeah.
prestige. It's like, just come back to my F. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Is that an Irish begrudgery thing? Is it like whatever? He's just some actor.
I just don't think we like to annoy people like that. Like I saw M&8 one time in Dublin Airport, and I didn't say a lot.
Not Eminem.
M&8.
Who's that? Eminem's
They were
brother.
a band in I think the early 90s.
Oh, right.
Yep.
And they weren't being clamoured over.
No.
Terminal 2.
And did you just ignore them?
Yeah.
He's your man from Trainspotting. Hugh McGregor was in Temple Bar, and there were a bunch of students had to grab people and do a little interview with them. And they were just grabbing random people in Temple Bar, and they grabbed him, and he had sunglasses on. And he had to ask, "What was your last job? What was your last paycheck?" I don't know.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Star Wars." Took off the glasses and answered all their questions. And they're like, "Thanks." He's like, "Thanks." And that was it. Yeah, it's weird. Anywhere else to be like, "Oh,
You don't
my
want me to
God."
sign anything? No,
Yeah,
get out of here.
Yeah, it's like, thanks, yeah, done. Okay, so we don't care about celebrities. That's great. Right.
Yeah.
Let's just go enjoy St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
And I love this tune.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St.
6
Patrick's Day.
signing off Patrick's Day special.
Absolutely.
Go out and get rubber.
Have a
Enjoy
great day.
yourself. Temple Bar, the centre of all joy in the world.
Don't say I am wrong, for you know I'm not right. Don't argue the point, for you know I can't fight. But where would you like me to take him tonight?
Okay, Tragtime.
Patrick's Day. Tragtime.
See you next week.
Yeah.